Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to All Things Events. It's the People's and Vendors Hub. And today I am so excited because listen, we are here, we are live at the Pretty Slay Brows shop storefront right here in Laurel, Maryland. As we promised, we're bringing you your DIY session on all things brows. Hello. So, as we spoke last week, you are your brand. And the first thing a prospective client sees is your face. And as Miss Bertha would tell you, your brows, ladies, yes, your brows are the first thing a prospective client, anyone sees on your face. So today we are fixing that issue. No more penciling those brows. We're gonna get a step-by-step process with the expert herself. It's Miss Bertha of Pretty Slay Brow LLC, located right here in Laurel, Maryland. Please help me welcome Bertha to the show. Welcome, sis.
Thank you so much for having me, Joanna.
You are so welcome. Listen,
Thank
we're
you.
so excited. Listen, I have a few people that are out there that are excited to learn from a pro, and it's all free. So
Yes.
tune in. Before we continue on, please allow StreamYard permission so you can be part of the show. We can see your comments and we can hear from you, answer questions. And we are also streaming live on YouTube as we speak. So we can also see your comments and questions from YouTube. Please share the video, pump those hearts, pump those likes. And guess what? Are you ready to grow? Bertha, are you ready to grow?
Girl, I'm ready to grow.
Are you ready to grow,
I'm
Bertha?
ready to
Are you ready to
grow.
slay these brows?
Yes. Let's get you
Listen.
guys into it.
Yes. Might look a hot mess. So yours truly, your host MCJT, will be our model for today. These brows look a mess, so please don't look at them. But I'm so glad I have an expert by me who is going to utilize me as the model and show you step by step. So if you're ready, share the video, tell a friend, tell a business owner, tell someone with a side hustle, tell a leader to join us, and let's get these brows slayed. So, Miss Bertha, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Thank you so much for having me, Joyce. My name is Bertha Ikoko, and I'm the owner of Pretty Slay Brows, specializing in micro shading, lashes, and lip blush.
Yes,
And
yes,
today I'm here to help you guys with your brows. So you won't be going out looking crazy. You want to make sure we get these brows straight.
yes. So tell us, what are some of those items that we're going to utilize tonight on
So
this DIY session?
So when it comes to brows, you don't just want to just have a pencil. You want to make sure the brows are being brushed before you get them done. So of course you're gonna be needing your spoolie. I'm sorry. You're gonna need your spoolie, and you're also gonna need your brow pencil. It could be a light brown or a dark brown, and you're also gonna need your sponge, concealer. Um, and a lot of times I'll say if you want a long lasting brows, then you will probably need a brow gel, which you can apply on the brows whenever you're done with your brows application, and that will help your brows last longer. And last but not least, you're gonna need a brush,
Mm.
a brow brush. It could be an angle brush or just a regular square brush.
All right, ladies, we did send out an essential list. So I hope you got your items together because we're about to get started. Are you excited? Are you excited to slay these brows? Because mine definitely needs some slaying. And again, welcome, Miss Bertha. We're going to get started. And she is going to be slaying my brows and giving you step-by-step process. So please take your time, listen attentively. I'm going to stop talking at this moment, and Miss Bertha is going to take over. And at the end, we have a special announcement for you as well. So Bertha, you ready?
I'm ready.
Girl, she
Get
was born ready.
I was
Okay,
born ready.
she
Let's
was
get
born
started.
ready. All right, so we're going to change up and bear with us as we move to the next area for the DIY session.
Yes. So I'm gonna have you this way, Miss Joyce.
All right.
So when you are starting with your brows, the goal here is to achieve a great brows. So the first thing that you do when you start with your brows, you make sure you clean the brows first. Brows can be cleaned with alcohol or just water. So today I'm going to be using alcohol. I have a little bit of alcohol on here. I'm going to be using this to clean Miss Joy's brows before we go ahead and actually start the outline. So I'm cleaning her brows. Make sure there's no makeup on it. I mean, people do brows differently, but I'll say doing your brows first before applying your foundation is the best because this is not, you're not going to have like some slipperies and all that. It's just going to be straight, with no issues. So the next thing that you do is brush your brows. So we're going to be using our spoolie to brush these brows up. We're brushing it up so we can have the perfect shape. We can make sure all her brows is going on the same direction before we actually go in and start outlining. So the outline, when I do outline, a lot of times I go based on the person's skin texture, like the color. You can either use a brown pencil, a dark brown pencil, or a light brown pencil. Today I'm going to be using a dark brown pencil on Miss Joyce. Um, so the first thing to pay attention to when you start your brows, make sure you're paying attention from where the to where the brows is supposed to start and where it ends. Normally, the way your brows are supposed to start is supposed to start right here. You never want to have a brow that passes this part right here. Your brow should end right here where your tear drops starts. That's where your brow should end. Anything past this, that's too long. And same with the other side. And when you're doing the bottom part, which is known as the tail, your tail should never pass this line of your eye. That's where your tail should end. Anything over that, that's too long. So pay attention to those angles. A lot of times I'll tell people the easier way to know how, where to end your brows or where to start, you have to use your two fingers. Just put your fingers right here, in the middle of your nose and your eye. And, take your pencil and kind of like draw the line, or you can put like a little dot, on both sides, and then do the same. Come right here, use the pencil and go up, making sure that you're not going past the length that you're supposed to stay at. So now with Miss Joyce, I'm going to start first by measuring the front of her face. So I'm going to go right here. Normally, when I do micro shading, I have a measurement thread that I use, but I'm teaching you guys these so you can be able to draw your own brows at home. So I'm not going to be using this today. We're going to show you a different way, you can achieve these brows. So I'm going to do this. That's where her brows are going to end. That's where her tails will end. That's where her other tail will end. And then this right here is where your arch is supposed to go. Now, to have that measurement of your arch, I usually say you can either use the middle of your eye to get the proper arch. That's the way you can get a proper arch, using the middle of your eye. So you can actually use a pencil and just kind of like place your pencil in the middle of your eye. So her arch will be right here. Everyone will have a different arch based on the shape of your faces. Okay, that means that's from here on. You can start pushing your brows down. So now I'll start by doing the bottom first. I'm going to draw a line on the bottom, and then I'll start continue with the top. I hope I'm not going to block anyone from seeing this, but and also make sure your pencils are sharp. It has to be sharp for you to get a nice outline. If it's not sharp, make sure you sharpen them to get a nice outline. So I'm going to start with Miss Joyce. I'm going to start at the bottom. So when you're drawing your brows, you can either start from the bottom and go down this way, or if you want to produce an arch, you can start from the bottom and go up to the arch and then bring it back down. You can do either way. So I'm going to do the top. I'm going to go to the top to create an arch first. Okay. I'm creating the arch. This is where the arch is. So once you pass where the arch is supposed to end, you bring it down. You're not trying to get a perfect in the beginning, you're not trying to get a perfect line. You're basically sketching in the beginning. You sketch, and then you come back and make adjustment. Okay. So this is what I have now from this joist. I'm going to go to the front. I want to make sure that the front is not as bold. The top of the front is not as bold as the bottom of the front. So in the top we're going really light. We're not trying to be super bold. We want to have a soft line. Okay. So once you have your lines, now all you do is use your pencil to fill it in.
And we're doing strokes.
Yes, right now I'm doing strokes. I'm just filling in to get, we're not trying to make it look like ink on your brows. We're trying to get you to look supernatural. So we're doing the strokes, the hair strokes to fill in the brows. And once you do that, make sure every time you do strokes with your pencil, make sure you're brushing it. This brushing is helping to blend the hair and the pencil that you're using. Don't worry about the shape. It could be, it might look messy right now. Well, I'll tell you what is going to help to fix it. Your goal is to try to get, a decent shape from the outline. And then the rest can be fixed with concealer once you're cleaning it. Again, our font is supposed to be as natural as possible. The darkest is usually from the tail. As it leaves the tail to the top, to the arch, it gets lighter, and then the font should be the lightest when it comes to your brows. Okay, so we're blending this in so that we don't get to see the pencil that is being used on your brows. The pencil is supposed to be as natural as possible with your natural brows. We don't want to see those. Okay. So now I'm not going to do too much on these Joyce brows because I believe that we have the right shape to work with. Now I'm going to be using a concealer, which is the next step. Different people use different brushes that works for them. I used this brush. You can use an angle brush. It really depends on you. I'll say try different brushes and see which one works for you. But this works for me. So this is what I'm going to use. But I like to use this little ring cup, put it on my finger to apply my concealer. So there are different kinds of concealer. Whatever concealer you choose to use, just make sure it's at least one tone lighter than your skin tone. One color lighter than your skin tone. I'm using LA Girl. I like to mix them together. I like to take a really light color and mix it with something super dark to kind of get the perfect shade. And then make sure you blend that in. You mix it up, mix it up, mix it up before you start applying it on the brows. So now I'm trying to get like a chocolate color. So this is the consistency I have and the shade. This is a perfect shade from this choice. Now I like to start from the bottom when it comes to cleaning the brows. The concealer, that's what it does. It actually cleans the brows, and you use this to like kind of like follow like create a better shape from the one that you draw. And once you're working on these, once you start doing the concealer, please be still because any little movement can actually mess you up, and then you have to start over. Do it as close to the eyebrows as possible, but not too close to go to the hair because cleaning it up the hair will be like a difficult thing to do. So you're just following the shape while making adjustment on the lines. Make sure, let your hand be flexible enough. You know, you can't be too stiff. And like we said, brows are sisters; they are not twin. Your natural brows are not the same, so don't expect them to look the same when you get them done. They're never gonna look exactly the same, but our goal is to get them to look similar as possible. Okay. I hope everyone is seeing what I'm doing. I'm basically just using the concealer and I'm making sure there's not that much concealer on my brush. That's why you see me cleaning it up because you don't want to have too much on your brush. And this is I want you to see how I achieve my arch. When it comes to the arch, when it comes to the arch, I'm basically just following the shape. Wherever the arch ends, that's where I bring my brush down. That's where I start going down. So the arch doesn't, I don't lose the arch. And a lot of times you can do this and mistakenly, wipe it off with a concealer. That's okay. You can always go back in and use your brush and kind of like just fix those little areas. And if you want to like reduce the length of because remember I told you guys it's supposed to end from here. That's your proper measurement. But you don't just want to cut it right there. No, you want to slowly go in and slowly reduce the length of the brows. Slowly, slowly. That way you're reducing it, but yet you're still keeping the shape of the brows. You also always want to have that sharp end, a little bit of that end. Okay. And then I'm going to make a little bit of adjustment right here. And remember, when you're doing this, you're following your brow shape. Now, the next thing I'm going to be using this to clean the brows. Whenever you start cleaning your brows, please do not clean your brows like this. Do not do that. Clean your brows upward. Clean the top part upward like this because we don't want to mess up what has already been created. So we're cleaning it upward. We're pressing on the skin. We're not just drawing it. No, we're pressing on the skin while we pull it so that the concealer can actually like melt into your skin. Come as close as possible to the shape that you just achieved, but also as slow as possible because any little thing at this point can mess the brows that you have just created. So if you see, I'm actually going really slow. Now, when you are doing the bottom part, when you're cleaning the bottom part, make sure you're going downward. You're not going to the side. You're not going left. You're not going right. You're going downward. And then you're also pressing the concealer into the skin as you pull down. Sometimes you just have to hold the brows up and have some control over the brows. So I actually I always recommend people to do their brows first before they apply their foundation. The reason why is because when you do your brows, there's always going to be concealer left on the side. And usually the shade of the concealer is different from your actual foundation. So when that happens, your foundation can now blend in. Since your foundation is the main thing that stays on your face, that's the color you want to see out. You don't want your concealer to be showing too much. Now, you notice that when I was cleaning the brows,
I came too close to the arch, and that kind of cleaned up a little bit of the brows. Now, what you can do with that when that happens is go back in, make sure your pencil is super sharp. It's nice and defined. You go back in and just slightly apply some more pencil into it. Not too much, just slowly applying the pencil. And then make sure you brush it in. When you do that, make sure you brush it in. Because remember, everything has to blend. Your natural brow should not be showing away from your pencil. It should blend in really good. And then to make it nice and clean, go back again with your concealer and your pencil and your brush and kind of do a little bit of cleaning. That's the only way you can achieve a nice smooth brows and clean. Do a little bit of cleaning. And then try to get the tail of the brows to be a little smaller. For this part, you have to be really gentle. You don't want to waste too much time on the brow and then mess it up at the end. Okay. So now this is how easy you can achieve a natural looking brows. And then you can always go back and kind of like brush your hair in. You notice that it's light in the front. It looks super natural in the front. And then it gets darker as it comes down. Now to make it long lasting, there are two things that I usually use. It's either I use a brow gel. This is Elf. You can get this from Target. I usually use these, or you can use a dual glue to keep the brows lasting longer. If you use a glue, the lash glue, for those of you who do lashes, you can use the lash glue and apply on your brows. That will give you some smoothness. It will give your brows some smoothness, and then your brows will last longer. You can actually pour water on your face, and those brows will not go anywhere. If you use that, you can go to sleep with them, and they will not go anywhere. And then, to take them out, just use wipes or something and just wipe it off. It's easy to come out. But the brow gel works, similar. It works almost the same, but it's not as strong as the glue. So these are the little tips that a lot of people don't know about, but you can definitely use those tips to achieve better looking brows and long lasting brows. Okay. So we're gonna do the other side. On this side, when I was doing this side, I showed you guys that you can start your brows and go up to the arch. I'm going to do the other side, but I'm going to go straight down instead of going up to the arch. Okay. All right. You okay, Miss Joyce?
I'm doing great. I'm loving this.
Okay.
Ladies, I hope you are taking notes. Write them down. Practice, 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 because we have to slay these brows. No more brows looking north, south, left, east. No more. We're fixing it today. So thank you, Miss Bertha.
You're welcome. All right, so we're gonna start with the other brows. Remember what I told you. Make sure the front starts at the right place, right here, and upward. That's where your front is supposed to end. Anything longer than that is too far front to your face. So I'm going to start right here, closer to your brow, your natural brows as possible. You always want to keep it natural. It's always best when you keep it natural. Now, when I started the other side, when I got to this point where the arch is supposed to be, remember the arch is supposed to go from here to here, like in the middle of your eyeball. When I started this, I went up. But with this time, I'm not going up. I'm just gonna go straight down. Okay, and then I'll get create the brows, the arch from the top once I get there. And this is her brow bone, so the brows are supposed to be a little bit above her brow bones. When you start applying your pencil, remember you want it to be a little bolder at the bottom, but not the top. You want the top to be a little softer. So now I'm going to create the top part. The top part, I'm going to go really soft in the beginning because we don't want that to be too dark. We want it to be as natural as possible. Now I'm going to create an arch differently from the way I did it the last time. So coming, this is the arch. I already have the arch. Now I'm going downward. I'm going downward, downward to the tail. Remember, your goal is not to get the best shape in the beginning when you start. You're basically just sketching your brows right now. To get it defined, you have to go in with those concealers and the brush and make sure you're really patient with that because that's what's gonna get you a better looking brows. I notice a lot of people are doing, they'll apply pencil on their brows and that's it. And they just, walk away. But if you can look at this, compare this and this, you see the difference. Doing it without pens, without concealer, and doing it with concealer. Concealer actually helps to clean the brows.
Ladies, how are we doing? How are we doing? Comments. Comment how are we doing? Hopefully you're keeping up with Miss Bertha here. Hopefully you're keeping up, and we would love to see what you've done at the end. Please share those pictures, and let's continue to grow. As I mentioned, Miss Bertha has an amazing, a special gift for us at the end of the show. So stay tuned and let's fix it.
Oh, I'm applying the concealer on it now. So I'm going in to shape it up and clean it with this concealer. And feel free to use whatever brush works for you. This brush does not work for everyone. Um, do your research, try out things, and try to figure out which one works for you. Browse is all about experiment and practice. You have to keep practicing to get perfect at it. And a lot of people use beauty blender, the beauty blenders, but I don't like to use beauty blenders, because to me it's too big. Well, they have smaller ones. If you have the smaller ones, those are great, but I'd rather use this because it's small enough and it doesn't really wipe off anything when as I work with. So now I'm going to go to the top. The left side of brows is the most difficult brows to work with. Anyone that knows about brows will tell you, but it's doable. You don't just want to start off and just clean off. No, you want to start gradually and keep reducing the brows slowly, especially when you come to the left brows. And I find that it's easier to go forward when it comes to the left brows than going backward. Try that and see. That might be easy for you too.
And ladies, if you're having a great time, you're learning, please pump those hearts, share the video, tell a friend to join in. Again, today we are learning to slay our brows because you are the face of your brand.
So I clean it so I can see what I've achieved so far. You have to constantly clean and apply and clean and apply. So that way you know you're seeing what you're getting. If you need to make any adjustment, you go ahead and do that after you clean. Now we're gonna try to get the side, the tail. Do this first. Clean this up a little bit. Remember, our goal is to get this to the brow bone. So if it's coming too low, we can always reduce it so that it can stay, the line can stay on the brow bone. And to achieve arch, the best thing to do, or the easier way to do it, if you want to achieve a good arch, is to reduce the bottom part of the brows. So, say for example, if you were doing somebody's brows and they say, "Oh, the brow is not arch. Can you give me a little bit of arch?" You don't have to go and add pencil on top. You don't have to. All you have to do is go to the bottom where the arch is supposed to be and use your concealer and your pencil and reduce the bottom part of the brows. When you reduce the bottom part of the brows, it automatically lift up, make the top part to be higher. So it creates the arch.
Tips, ladies. Amazing tips here. DIY session.
Mhm.
I never knew that.
Yep. So you don't have to do all the drawing. I didn't know that. No. So now I'm gonna try to get this arch, I mean the tail, to reduce, because remember, your tail should not be longer than your eye right here. Nope, it should be shorter. It should be around this area. So our goal to reduce this is to gradually cut, the edge gradually.
Ladies, how are we doing? How are we doing? How are those brows coming up?
Okay. You see this other side. All right. So when you draw your brows, make sure you look at both brows to make sure that they are the same. We have, when it comes to micro shading, when I teach micro shading, I'll show you different techniques that you will use um, to achieve equal brows that look exactly the same. How to measure those to get that right measurement. So if you're interested, let me know.
How are we doing, ladies? How are we doing? It's
Almost
okay.
rounding up.
It's okay. Practice makes perfect. You heard her. Today is not just the only day. You have to practice.
Oh yeah.
Practice and practice so that you can slay these brows every time you have a potential meetup, every time you're out. You want to get these brows looking absolutely fabulous.
That's the goal. Okay, so the more you do your brows, the faster you get at it. It's a constant, work, and you just have to keep doing it. Just don't give up on it. Practice, keep practicing. It gets better. I promise you, it gets better every time you practice. So at least that should give you a little bit of hope. Okay.
How do I look, ladies? How do I look? Woo, pretty slay brow. Definitely slay these brows indeed. So, how are we doing? How are we doing?
And remember, if you want a long-lasting brows, make sure you use brow gel, or you can use the dual glue, which is the eyelash glue. Eyelash glue that can definitely help your brows to last longer, and you can pour water on your face without any issues, and it gives you that smoothness.
Ooh.
All right. All right, that's it. See how simple it was, how easy it was to achieve your
Wow.
brows.
Wow.
So
Wow.
easy.
Wow. Someone said, we're just going to be right here, Miss Bertha.
Yes.
Someone said, so is it better to use a pencil or eyebrow gel?
Well, I would tell you that it's better to use a pencil because only because I've experienced both, and I noticed that when I use eyebrow gel, it kind of make my because I have a lot of brows. If you're someone with a really thin brows, and maybe eyebrow gel might work for you, but I have a lot of brows, so pencil worked for me because it didn't make my brows clog up. It was super smooth for me, and you're not trying to get your brows to be so thick and dark. You
Got it.
want it to be smooth. You want it to blend in with your natural hair.
Got it.
So that definitely worked for me. Pencil definitely worked for me better than eyebrows gel. So again, it really depends on what kind of brows you have. You and then also try different things. Try the gel and try the pencil. I tried both, and I was able to come out with the one that works best for me.
Ooh, these brows are slayed. I think I might need a date tonight. Joan, what do you think? Said reducing but keeping the shape. Wow, I got it. Fantastic. I'm so glad you all are learning. You're learning.
And then also, if you want to avoid having the unisex brow, like right now, if you can look at her brows, it almost looks like she has a unisex, like this, um, like it actually just joined together. It doesn't. It's just because concealer has been used on this side, and there was none used right here, so it makes it look, crazy. But the easier way to do it to blend it in, which is why I say do this before you apply your foundation because you can actually go in with your foundation in the middle, lightly, you know, blend it in so that it doesn't have that, dividing or show that gap, that difference between your brows and your face.
Hmm. And remember, she said something. She said, your brows are not twins, they are sisters.
Yes.
Right, ladies? So it's not always going to look perfect, but do everything to keep it as close as possible. Bertha, I'm loving my brows. Let's get some more comments, questions. Um, I'm watching from Bamenda, Cameroon. Oh
Oh,
my
wow.
gosh.
That's
Juliet,
interesting.
thank you for watching. I hope you're learning because we have to slay these brows. When you go out to do your therapy sessions, make sure those brows are slayed. Thank you. Brows looking left, right, south. Yes, no more looking left, right, south because we have to fix it. It is
Yes.
time to fix it. You are your brand. Let's get a couple more questions. I'm learning something new. That's right. We want you to learn and we want you to keep practicing. Please keep practicing so you become even more perfect. Who knows? You may be Miss Bertha's apprentice. Joan.
No.
I love when we need to keep practicing to become perfect. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's see. Two more comments, two more questions. Anything else? What is that other pencil you use at the end?
Oh, so that was a gel. Actually, it wasn't a pencil. It was a brow gel.
So we're gonna give a
I,
nice
I believe
close up.
I believe that was what I used at the end.
Yes.
Is this what you're talking about? So it's a brow gel by Elf. These can be found at Target, and it helps to like keep your brows longer,
Hmm.
and also keep it smooth.
You can sleep in your brows and use the same brows the next day. Just
Yeah.
make sure you don't put your face down on the pillow. Pretty much. That's what she's saying.
And remember, you can always use lash glue.
She's
It's summertime. People might want to go swimming. You go on vacation, but you still want to get your brows done. You want to look good.
wow.
Micro shading. I tell you, micro shading is the best thing to do when it comes to all the swimming and stuff. But the glue can actually work too.
Nice.
If you are good at drawing your brows and you go on a vacation, you can use the glue, the gel, the lash glue. Apply a little bit. Do not apply it into the front though, because the front might look crazy. Because you want the front to look super natural. You don't want it to be thick.
Yep.
So start applying it. Can you see me? Oh.
Yep.
So start from like right here downward a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit.
Nice. Solange said not that one. I wonder which other pencil did you
Oh,
use?
are you talking about the type of pencil that was used?
All right. We will list.
Oh yeah, I would definitely list all.
We will
this and send
list.
this to you. This was from a beauty supply store. It's just a regular beauty supply pencil.
So we're gonna list the essentials that Bertha used today on the MCJT page so that you can go out and grab them. The black one looked like a pencil, not sure what the other was, but you use it with the left Chris Brown. Okay.
So
All right. We're gonna figure out that pencil that you're speaking of. Any other comments, questions? She said usually on the left brow, but she's gonna give me a list of everything she
Yes.
used today, and we're gonna share it on the MCJT Facebook page. So continue to follow. Any more questions, comments? Again, this is our DIY session, ladies. We need to slay these brows. We are the brand. You are the brand. You are the face of your brand. So we want to ensure that, again, you show up and you show out every time you do. Here on All Things Events, we are intentional not only about you, but about your brand. So we want to make sure that you are showing up right, because it's time to level up. So we have some amazing, amazing, amazing news from Miss Bertha. She's been so kind. And because it is All Things Events, right? And our goal here is to memorable experiences. Miss Bertha has opted to do a promo. So you can actually come into the shop. And before we end up, I'm just going to give you a quick glance of the shop. It is absolutely stunning. Come into the shop for 10% off for your micro shading. Yes, you have to use promo code ATES, All Things Events Show number 10, to get that 10% off, and it's for a limited time only. So don't think you have all year. No, you don't. So come on out, get your micro shading done. She also does some amazing work. She does amazing soft glam makeup. She does all my soft glam makeup for when I'm on the stage, and I was just on the stage this past weekend, and she killed it. Shared her number with a few people. So ladies, if you're in the DMV area, you're visiting, please come out. Miss Bertha, any last words before we wrap up? And I think I'm going on a date tonight. Go ahead.
Well, just make sure you do not miss out on the 10% because it's not going to be lasting long. It's only for a short, unlimited amount of time. So go to Miss Pretty Food or to Pretty Slave Brows, not Miss Pretty. Go to Pretty Slave Brows on Instagram. My link, booking link will be on my bio. You should be able to click on it and go directly to the booking site and book. And make sure you use your 10% so you can get a 10% off.
That's right. Ladies, today was all about us. I hope you had an amazing time. I hope you've learned something new, and most importantly, how to keep these brows looking slay for everything that we do. We want you to show up. We want you to show out. And remember, you are the face of your business, the face of your brand. So thank you, Miss Bertha. I'm so excited. Again, for anything event, you're thinking about growing your business, how do you start? Reach out to us. We are here to help you grow. And we want to ensure that we are able to level up with our counterparts. First, it begins with you. What is your goal? What is that thing that you want to ensure that your business grows? Remember, if you learn nothing else today, your brows are not twins. They're sisters. Okay? Sisters. They are sisters. I never knew that, but I learned that today. So it's your girl, MCJT. Thank you, Miss Bertha. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, everyone.
Share the video, pump those hearts, and guess what? You ready? Let's grow.